Welcome back to the Voice Time channel. Today we're doing a record reaction recap number 7. Okay, 7. This is a big one. If you're new here, this is where we just kind of go over all the past albums we've reacted to on the channel, give updated thoughts, feelings, whether we're like things grew on us, shrank on us, that kind of thing. Just so we're not leaving a million comments. It's easier to do this in a more easy, free-flowing conversation kind of thing. But we will be back next week. I think we'd have like the Deer Hunter or something.
Yeah, the Deer Hunter. It's like Act 1 or something. Yeah. Part 1 or something. Yeah.
So that'll be coming back for a little bit. I don't know how long we're going to keep doing the viewer marathon, but we have a lot on there. So we'll try to knock out as many as we can, I guess. Before we go back to our own thing. But this was a long one. We got, 14 albums on here?
Yes.
Like
yes.
Usually we do a 10, but we had a lot of albums that we talked about in our end of the year video. So we won't be talking about those really a lot in this video. There's like SZA and Weyes Blood. I think those were the two that just came out. So we did talk about those in our end of year video if you're interested in those. But other than that,
a little bit of Lil Simz, talked about that.
Oh yes, that too.
Let me see. And I did briefly talk about the new King Giz record. You might have more to say because I don't think you talked about it. But we'll get into that. But as established last time, our most recent video will not be in this retrospective and it will be in the next one. So if you are interested on our continued thoughts on Chelsea Wolfe's Hiss Spun, then that will be in retrospective 8.
In like 3 years.
Yes. Which means that Kick 4, which actually came out before retrospective 6, we are going to start with on this one. So, how have your thoughts changed about Arca's Kick 4?
I don't know if I've really gone back to Kick 4 a whole lot. I think it is the lowest ranked in the series for me. Maybe. Let me check.
Okay.
Yes, it looks like it is the lowest ranked one. It was a cool record. I mean, it was very ambient and chill, but like I feel like Kick 5 did a much better job of that. I think it's still like a very solid Kick entry. Like all of them have been really entertaining, but like when it comes to like going back to like when I want an Arca experience, I usually do like Kick 3 or Kick 5. Those are my two top ones. So with that being said, I still do really like which one did I really like? Last one found like Xenomorph Girl was also really cool. So there's a couple on there that I'll go back to, but as a whole, it's not really something I go back to a whole lot. That being said, I think it's still pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty similar. I have not listened to it a whole lot since our video on it. Sometimes it shows up as I shuffle the playlists. Turn in the description, my winning and losing playlists, where I compile all of the songs I liked and didn't like over this cycle. So yeah, those have come up and I don't skip them, but it's not like I'm going back and listening to the whole record. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it is. I'm trying to think. Do you have like a Kick? What is your order? What's your ranking?
I don't know if I have it on the top of my head. I gave Kick 4 a 77. I think Kick 3 is my top one.
Okay.
Then it's Kick 5. Then it's Kick 1, 2, and then 4, I think.
Yes.
So I went 3, 5, 1, 2, 4.
Okay. I think mine is 5, 1, 3, 2, 4, maybe? Trying to think. I don't know. I don't listen to these a whole lot, but they are pretty dang good. So Kick 4. Next up, we are going to do King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, the last album of Giztober, and that is Changes, which I did talk about in our top 5 albums we did of the year.
Top 10?
Top 10?
I think we did top 10.
I talked about it there. So
yes.
I'm not going to have a whole lot to say, but maybe you can talk about Changes.
Yeah. I have the hot take of this being my least favorite out of the 3 that they dropped in October.
Oh, okay.
I think Laminated Denim and especially Ice Death Planet songs. That's constantly in rotation for me. That's like one of my favorite King Gizzard albums now. It's just like so much fun to listen to. I've been jamming to Mycelium and Iron Lung for like the past couple of months. They're fantastic. But I do like how fun Changes is. It's just when I come to King Giz, if I want something quirky like that, I'm going Fishing for Fishies or I'm going Paper Mache Dream Balloon. Especially Paper Mache Dream Balloon, because I feel like it does keep that kind of silliness vibe that this has.
Yeah.
But Change is a fantastic song. Hey Dancing is fun.
Mm-hmm.
I also really liked AstroTurf. But other than that, like the rest of these songs didn't really stick out too much to me compared to like the rest of their output. But I mean, with it being King Giz, it's still a very solid album. I still gave it an 82. It was quality. It's just like when it comes to like, I want to put on some King Gizzard. This is not what I come to first. I have to be in a very specific mood to be on this one.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I will say this is, if I'm going for fun Giz, I'm going for Paper Mache Dream Balloon 100%. That might be my favorite.
Yeah.
King Giz record. But Change, every time that comes on, I'm listening to all 13 minutes. I love that song so much. So it does get a little honorable mention there for me because I really do like that song. But there you go. Change. Next, our first of two 90s R&B albums we have this cycle. It is Brandy's Full Moon.
Yeah. This is my favorite R&B album I've reacted to so far.
I agree.
Yeah, this is super fun. It's long, but like it used its length very well. There's a huge variety. The production here, Rodney, just fantastic across this thing.
Front of the show.
Yeah, just always exciting. Every track brings something completely new. Her vocal style is fantastic. I love the way that she layers her choruses. She's not afraid to try different things and like use, backing vocals, vocal effects, all of that instead of just letting her raw voice shine. I really like that. There are a couple songs that get a little cheesy towards the end. They're more like R&B ballad type things, which aren't really my thing at all.
No.
But the rest of this album slaps. Like super fun, super innovative. I mean, I know a lot of people talked about in the Aaliyah video that Brandy took a lot of inspiration from Aaliyah. I could definitely see it after hearing Aaliyah. So this is like, again, like a huge monumental R&B album. I'm still trying to understand the genre as a whole, but like when it comes to the ones we've listened to on the channel, this is definitely my favorite so far. So
I agree. Yeah. This definitely feels like Aaliyah, but then like one step like better, I want to say, because like every single time the Brandy song comes on when I'm listening to this playlist, it's like, man, I forgot how good this is. Her
melodies are next level. I think that's one huge thing that this album has.
Yes, I absolutely love it. Her voice, crazy good. Rodney's production, wacky. There's a lot of like similarities. I always associate this album and the SZA record very similarly, just because it's they're trying a whole bunch of different things.
It seemed like SZA really took a lot of inspiration from this, and in the way that they did like very different sounding tracks on huge albums.
And for the most part, I would say that it worked on both of those. Yeah. So, we listened to them around the same time.
They do feel very similar, like in terms of like length and everything.
Yeah. So, I'm a big fan of Brandy. We do have some of her other records on the fan wheel. We also have some more Aaliyah, but we will, get to that later in this video.
I gave this one an 88, but it could go up. I just haven't listened to it enough to like get a proper rating out of it, but
it's
good. Very good.
It's good. Right. Next up is Caroline's Self-Titled.
This one was cool. I mean, it was interesting to hear like another kind of post-punk, post-rock kind of thing coming out of the area where like the windmill scene of Black Midi and Black Country. I will say that this is nowhere near the level of that. This was very cool, almost like it's very minimal, a lot of like very ambient parts and very slow parts. Those parts were cool. I did think the one thing that held back this album a lot was very demo-ish interludes, and there was a lot of them. It really broke up the flow of it, because like the intro and Good Morning Red, those two songs are really fantastic, but then like you get like a minute 13 of like guitar demos, then you get a song, then you get another guitar demo, then you have like an ambient track.
Yeah.
So there's not like enough meat on this album to make it like worth my time again. But I think some of the experiments it showed was pretty cool. Like I feel like this band's gonna do pretty good things going forward. It's just like this record, I feel like they can do a lot better. I feel like they're getting their grounding. But I mean, there's post-rock stuff in it, so I'm gonna like enjoy those parts of it. But I gave it a 69. There's promise, but like I don't really go back to any of these songs. But I'm still gonna watch out for this band because I think they're gonna do something pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like for a debut record, I'd say it's pretty solid. I really liked Dark Blue and Good Morning Red. I think those are some great songs. Considering this album like just came out last year, like, okay, there's room to grow, and I am interested in maybe doing what they have next. But yeah, this isn't one I go back to a whole lot either, but pretty good. It's all right. Weyes Blood. I don't know if we have a whole lot to say about it.
I think we all talked about this
We
one
all
in our
did.
2022 videos, so go watch that if you want to hear our full thoughts on that. But this record's still amazing. I have it at a 93. That did go down from like my 96 rating, just because I did re-listen to Titanic Rising and really gave it another shot. I'm like, yeah, Titanic Rising is better.
Yeah.
But this album is still very fantastic. Like, Titanic Rising is an extremely high bar to go against, and it almost made it there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still go back to this thing a ton. The whole first half of this record is just flawless. So
Yeah, no, I really like it. I would say it's just like a one little notch worse. Maybe, I don't know what your difference is. It's probably like 4 or 5 lower out of 100.
yeah,
where it's
I
like,
think I have Titanic Rising at a 96 or a 97.
so yeah, just one
Just
little
lower.
thing.
Yeah.
That's probably where I would put it too, because I really love like Children of the Empire, fantastic. Hearts Aglow, I love Grapevine.
Yeah,
Some
Children
great
of the
songs.
Empire into Grapevine is a fantastic combo. Like the whole first half is just
I love it.
so good.
It's great. But yeah, I've not gone back to it as much as I went back to Titanic Rising, but still very, very good.
Real and true.
Yeah. Next we got Souvlaki, Slowdive.
Yeah. This one had to grow on me a lot. In the reaction video, like I really enjoyed it, but it didn't have the impact that the other shoegaze and dream pop albums we did on the channel gave me. Just knowing that these are like kind of the big 3 that we've done now. But after this has kind of become like a daily driver album to me. Like I listen to it a lot now, and I really do think it's like definitely a classic. I do listen to mostly every song. Maybe I like skip Melon Yellow and Dagger. Those are the only 2 I really don't come back to a lot. But like I have Allison and Machine Gun and Souvlaki Space Station and When the Sun Hits and all of those on constantly. It's a super easy listening, but like super, super dreamy and just satisfying record. It feels a lot easier on the ears than like a My Bloody Valentine does, which is nice because it is very casual. In my listening to it. But yeah, this thing is absolutely fantastic. I found myself coming back to it a ton. I gave it a 96. I think my rating like after the video was like a 91, so it jumped up quite a bit. So yeah, I'm still listening to this a ton. I don't know, I don't think it's going to go out of rotation anytime soon. I'm very interested in like their self-titled record in like 2017 when that came back, because people say that's like one of the best returns ever. So I am very interested in listening to that. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, add it to your wheel. Maybe it'll come up. Yeah, this one, I forgot what you said. It was a mix of Cocteau Twins and was it My Bloody Valentine? Yeah, it's very accurate. I don't really listen to either of those, so I don't really listen to this one very much. But I mean, it wasn't like, not that My Bloody Valentine was like excruciating or anything. Like it was fine. It was just loud.
it's very different.
It's very loud and different. This one was a little bit easier to listen to. I did enjoy my time with it, but this isn't one that I'm really going back to a whole bunch. But there you go. Kick 5.
Kick 5. We have a lot of Arca on this one.
We do.
I thought Kick 5 was really great. I have this at like number 2 in my ranking. I feel like this was a very, very, very good closing to the series. The more ambient, like classical parts of it were really nice. You still had those Arca quirks with it, with all the weird production choices and stuff, but it was a very like therapeutic kind of reflection on the whole series, kind of that kind of acceptance part of this whole series, where she's finally feeling confident in herself again. Especially like Crown, fantastic closing track, and of the series in general. But yeah, this one's great. I do put this on a lot more than like 4 or 2 when it comes to like the more ambient kind of background stuff. But yeah, this is fantastic. Like again, her progression in just production is like insane. She is such a good producer. So every time we react to Arca, it's a good time. It's not music I listen to a whole bunch, but it's always a fantastic experience to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much in the same spot. It's not something I go to all the time, but it's like, oh, we're doing an Arca video. I know I'm probably not going to hate it, so there's always that. And this one I thought was very, very nice. Surprisingly easy to listen to. You go into Arca and it's like, oh boy, it's just gonna be all weird and glitchy. But this one, for the most part, there was a couple songs, but for the most part, like the beginning of this thing was just, okay, when's it gonna happen? Okay, I know what's gonna happen, but when's it gonna happen? So I was a little bit on edge, but I mean, those songs, now that you know what's coming. It's like, all right,
real.
Yeah, very good.
This one an 83.
Very nice. Yeah, this one's my favorite, for sure. Sauce by SZA.
Sauce.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we talked about this one in the 2022 video as well.
Yes.
Or at least you did. I was close to making my list. It was like number 12 or 13 or something.
Well, also it just came out when we were doing our video.
Yeah, we had to we shoehorned it in because we reacted to it like a week before that video.
Yeah.
But this record's very solid. I still like it more than Control, which still might be a hot take. But I like the approach, much like Brandy did, where it's a ton of songs, ton of different concepts. Most of them are done pretty well. Kill Bill's an absolute banger. Love Language, Blind, Snooze, Gone Girl, Ghost in the Machine, and then the ending of this from Shirt all the way to the end is fantastic as well. So, I mean, this is how you do a comeback record, a lengthy one too. I was scared when I saw how long the album was. I'm like, I don't know, but she did it pretty well. I go back to the closer a lot more than I thought I would.
It's great.
It's so fantastic.
Yeah.
The Bjork sample and Rodney doing his thing, and then the Old Dirty Bastard feature. It's a crazy song, but it's so good.
No, I love that.
Yeah. So, great job by SZA. Definitely met my expectations of what I was expecting from her. So, I also gave this an 88. I didn't want to put it above Brandy because I know the blueprint is very much in Brandy, and I enjoy these records about the same. So I just thought we'll put them next to each other.
There you go. That works. I don't have a whole lot to add from what I already said about this. It is still in my constant rotation. I do really, really like this thing. I recently added Ghost in the Machine to the winning playlist. I don't remember why I didn't like it when it came out. And it's not that I didn't like it, I just didn't add it to the winning playlist. It is the song that I go back to probably the most now. So, whoops. I don't get it. I don't know what I didn't like about it. But yeah, now it is my favorite. I don't know if I like it more than Control, but Control is just it's perfect. It's almost perfect. I love it very much. But, there's still time to grow, I suppose. It's only been out for a couple months. So
yeah, barely.
Yeah, we'll see what happens as time goes on. But also a new release we did, No Thank You by Little Simz.
Yeah, I think we also touched on this a little bit
We
in
did.
that video.
Yeah.
Again, really great. Um, we had differing expectations. I feel like we were both like, okay, there's a new record. It seems like it's like pretty soon after her last record, which was like insanely massive.
Yeah.
But she held up the quality for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love just like the deep dive into music politics on this record. She did a great job just storytelling like always. Love the intro. I go back to the intro a lot. I love just like that kind of update kind of hip hop song. Kind of like what Kendrick does with the Heart series. Very like kind of simple beat. She just goes on it and does her thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I go back to most of these. I feel like Sideways and Who Even Cares are the two I don't go back to a lot. But like, I mean, Silhouette, No Mercy, X, Control, like I go back to those a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, incredibly solid release from her. Like, she's definitely very consistent. I'm excited for what she does next. This feels like almost like an in-betweener album, just because it is so like, not short, but like very concise in its idea. It doesn't take like huge years of writing and choreographing and art direction to get to this album.
No.
This felt like a very clean, well thought out, just like little album that she wanted to put out there, like to update her status of like where she's at, like here's what's going on.
Yeah.
So very good. I give this one an 89. Fantastic.
Yeah. No, it's really good. Not everything needs to be a Simbi. Even though Simbi is great. I love that record a lot.
You got to be able to do both.
You gotta do both. Yeah, I was a little worried going into this, but oh boy, very, very good. I need to go back to it more, but like every time it comes on, it's like, oh man, I keep forgetting about this. I need to listen to this. I'm too backed up with all the stuff I'm listening to. But yeah, Silhouette, No Mercy, and X is like one of the best runs. I love all three of those songs. Very, very solid stuff. I just need to listen to it more. I'm a dirty coward for not. So, there you go. Next up, it's De-Loused in the Comatorium by the Mars Volta.
I don't go back to this one a whole lot, but when I do, it's very specific and like this is what I want right now.
Yes.
Like this is fantastic road trip music. Actually, it sounds great in car speakers.
I'm sure.
I love the progginess of it. Roulette Dares especially is just like absolutely incredible. Chorus is such like an earworm. I love the different like random switch ups and changes. The guitars are fun. Yeah, the whole album sounds great. There's like a huge underlying like story into it, but it's way too complicated and I don't need to go that deep into it to listen to this kind of sounding album. That's just what prog does sometimes, is they do these weird story arc things. Yeah, so I didn't expect to like this album as much as I did, honestly. It felt like Mars Volta was very much that kind of nerdy, like Tool-esque prog group where they're like, you don't get it, man, you got to dive into all the deep lore and intricacies, but like it just sounds great.
Yeah.
I am interested in Francis the Mute. That's their album that came after this, and they're more acclaimed album than this one.
Oh, really?
So I'm very interested in that. But this was a really fun time. This album is just a great time. If you're into any kind of prog or art rock, definitely give this one a listen. It is worth your time. But I love rock that is just a lot of fun to listen to. Like it's kind of like that Black Midi itch for me, where it's like this is just fun. It's crazy. It's off the wall. But yeah, very good. I give this one an 88 as well.
Yeah. No, this one's. I mean, I didn't know what to expect going in, and I just had a great time. It's fun. The lyrics kind of. I don't know. I kind of hate that. It was kind of like, and this might be a hot take, but it was kind of like hard for me to get into that new Sufjan and Angelo DeAgostine record because there was so much like flowery language, and it's like, bro, this is a song about The Thing, and I didn't even know that this was about The Thing, and The Thing is like one of my favorites. So like, I don't know. But then I kind of overcame that, and I love that record so much.
That record's so good.
So, yeah, but this one's just a whole lot of fun. The Freddie
nerdiness
Mercury
adds to this.
Yeah. I can't unhear the Freddie Mercury vocals, but man, it just sounds, it's whatever. I love it. It's great. I love Drunk Ship of Lanterns, like Area Tarka and Inertiatic Esp, probably my favorites. Very, very good stuff.
Real.
All right, Arca self-titled. This is the last time we're talking about Arca.
This is our
I
third
swear.
Arca. I don't go back to the self-titled a whole lot. I did really enjoy it because it was nice hearing something outside of the Kick series. I do listen to Child a lot. That outro was really fantastic. Something about that song in particular I go back to a lot. But I know Sin Rumbo as well was great, and Urchin. So like, there's sporadic tracks on here that I'll be like, ooh, that one was really good. I think we did do a lot of Arca in a short period of time, so it's hard to, like, especially since we don't speak the language either, it's hard to pick out which songs are on which record all the time.
True.
But she definitely didn't have a dip in quality in her earlier work. It was very much so on par with the Kick series.
Yeah.
So again, a very fun listen. Reacting to Arca is fun because it is something where you have to, like, we're forced to give our full attention to the music when, you know, if we listen to this in passing or doing something else, we wouldn't get all the intricate details that she puts in everything. So yeah, it's always a great time to do this. But gave it an 82. Still pretty solid. I just don't go back to it a whole lot. But Child is definitely my favorite song off this one.
Yeah. I mean, I liked a lot of songs on here. Like 5 songs made it onto the winning playlist, but like I don't go back to this at all. I don't know if it's a little bit of Arca burnout just because we did like the whole Kick series over the course of, I guess, 5 months. We were doing one a month. And I was like, great. Like, oh, okay, time to, like, we've done our Arca thing, and then we got Arca on the wheel. I was like, all right. So I did kind of get a little burned out with that. So I have not gone back to this one at all. But I remember it was a good time. It's not a dig at the quality at all. It's just I had too much too fast. So that's my B.
Nice.
NunSexMonkRock, Nina Hagen.
Oh yeah. This album was really interesting to react to. It was definitely entertaining. Like, I respect this album a whole lot, but I will never listen to it again, probably. I don't really have a desire to come back to it. Smackjack did go really hard though. Like, there were definitely there were songs on here that I did really like, but like, it is more like a novelty record. I love the approach to just like doing whatever you want and making music truly for you, because I feel like that's really what you did with this record. But yeah, I don't really like go back to it a whole lot just because it is so weird that it's hard to like put it next to anything else. It's so strange. But yeah, I mean, Smackjack, Dread Love, UFO, those were good. I mean, like, there's definitely part of those songs where I'm like, this is a great like hypnotic groove that they got going. Really fantastic vocal runs, even though she was doing like insane vocal things. Like, she was doing a whole animated show with her own voice on this album, basically.
That is true.
She was Tom Kenny in the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, I respect this album a lot, but I'm not listening to it again probably. So I gave it a 60 just because I'm like, I'm not gonna really.
No.
But I'm glad I listened to it because that was an experience.
It was an experience. I think I was probably tapped out like 5 songs in, maybe.
Yeah, I started liking it more as the video went on too.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, I get it now. I'm still not gonna listen to it again, but I get it.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I respect the like mentality as an artist, just being like, oh, buck the system. I'm just gonna make whatever for me. Especially in a time period in a place where maybe that wasn't always encouraged. Mm-hmm. Sure, yes, of course, do that. But it's like, I'm not gonna get me. Yeah, but yeah, I respect it, but no, thank you. The War on Drugs, Lost in the Dream.
This album is fantastic. It's grew on me again. Like, I didn't expect it to grow on me this much, but I've been listening to this thing a lot. I love like the Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen kind of like revamp that this album does. It's a very like melancholic optimism in the way that it sounds. It's weird because like you can take these songs as like sad or kind of like optimistic.
Yeah.
But the vocals are great. I love the psychedelic elements of it. Like Under the Pressure especially is like one I go back to a ton. I mean, it's a 9-minute song, but like I love the way that it just kind of trudges along, and in the end you have this beautiful like outro with instrumental breaks.
Damn.
Yeah, the whole thing is just really dreamy, really fantastic, super easy to listen to. I've definitely put this on a couple times just in the background. But yeah, I mean, Under the Pressure, Red Eyes, Disappearing is fantastic. Eyes of the Wind, Lost in the Dream, like all those are just amazing. So definitely interested in more War on Drugs stuff. I think their 2017 album is also like very highly reviewed, so I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've gotten any suggested.
I feel like someone talked about A Deeper Understanding in one of our comments, but I don't remember.
We've gotten comments digging into it, but I don't think we've gotten any of the suggestions for new stuff. We definitely have more Mars Volta.
Yes.
I think we have 2 on the wheel.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one I really like it. I mean, I haven't like dug into it a whole bunch because it is one of our more recent ones, but man, it is just really, really solid stuff. I love the kind of like not so soul crushingly depressing like Carrie and Lowell or something where it's like I have to like be mentally prepared to go into this. This is like more
Carrie
or less
and Lowell light, which is great.
Yes, it's Carrie and Lowell
this
light.
Sounds fantastic. Yeah.
Yes, where you can just like, oh yeah, I'll just throw this on, and if I don't pay too much attention, then I'm not gonna be too affected by it. On the surface, it's just a fun little Bruce Springsteen thing, but then if you really kind of pay attention, it's like, oh boy, this is all right. This is getting a little sad. But yeah, great stuff. I really like it. The Mars Volta and this one, like I was surprised because I didn't know anything about either of those, and I was very pleasantly surprised by both. So good stuff. Good suggestions, you guys. We're gonna finish off this video with the Aaliyah self-titled.
Yes. Really great. I don't go back to this one a whole lot yet. I feel like with the R&B albums, especially like in these genres that we're not used to, it takes me more than a first listen to get like an actual feel of what I like about it. Like I can describe the parts that stand out to me in the video, but obviously like Genius was down for this video as well.
That's true.
So I was not able to get the context that I kind of usually get, so I wasn't able to like connect more with it. I feel like when Genius is up, I can at least read about like artist notes that they put or lyrical things, so I can at least get a better understanding of what's going on. This I didn't really have it for, so I did feel a little bit lost, especially since like Timbaland is not on a lot of these songs, only a select couple, but I was like trying to forge through Wikipedia while trying to listen at the same time. It wasn't working. So apologies for that in that video. But yeah, with that being said, there's still some fantastic songs in here. She was an absolute like powerhouse of an artist at like, I think she was 22 when this thing came out in 2001.
Yeah.
Like absolutely insane for someone that young to do. Like, I mean, Rock the Boat, obviously fantastic. I love that song. That's an amazing song. Never No More was fantastic. I think I Refuse was like that Disney princess kind of song, which was like really fantastic too.
I love that one.
So a lot of fantastic moments on this thing. I do need to listen to it more. I feel like I'm still not getting some of these tracks. There is something with like early 2000s R&B where it's like a lot of the Brandy songs I could connect to. It sounded great. It sounded like it was from 2002, but like, I mean, I was able to still jam out to it. Sure. This one, I just think I need a little bit more time, and I needed like more context with it as well. So I know there's some great comments on that video that kind of break down the context of this album in particular. So I do want to do a re-listen of this one. I just haven't had the time to do it yet. But yeah, massive respect to the artist. Obviously, like this thing is
absolutely
hugely impressive and hugely successful. So I did give it an 84 for the time being, but I do want to give a re-listen to this one.
Yeah. No, Aaliyah was great. We have a couple more of her things on the wheel. So we will probably listen to more Aaliyah in the future. I really, really liked it. I don't think I liked it as much as Brandy. I think there was a slump. I did not like the latter half of it. But like Rock the Boat, Never No More, I Care For You, and I Refuse. Bangers. Gotta love all those.
Nice.
I'm also gonna throw Loose Rap in there because that one's kind of fun. But yeah, insanely talented. I love her vocals a lot. Definitely interested to check out some of her other things, but I wasn't like the biggest fan of the latter half of it. But I know we have One in a Million on there.
Yeah, 1 in a Million is the one that people are recommending, which I think this, like, her self-title is her most, like, experimental out there one. So 1 in a Million might be a little bit more, like, consistent, but
I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely down to give more of a shot to Aaliyah here because, yeah, I mean, it's just with R&B and, like, those kind of things, it takes us longer to, like, get it, usually.
Yeah.
Or, like, especially, like, even, like, with the War on Drugs, it's, like, it was cool in the video, but once I started listening to it on my own time, I'm like, yeah, this is really fantastic. So I feel like that happened a lot with ones in this retrospective, especially. So
for sure.
That's why we do these videos.
Exactly. I forget. Someone recommended that we do this like at the very beginning of our YouTube channel, and it's like we owe them so much because this is our most profitable series that we do.
It really
for sure.
$2 off of it.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. That is retrospective 7. The playlists for the songs that I like and don't like are going to be in the description. We will also, I don't know if you do anything. Do anything usually?
I'll link I have a list of just all my scores, so I can just link that.
There you go.
In the description.
You can look at that.
Yeah.
If you're interested. If you want to suggest more things, absolutely do that. We'll add it to the wheel. Or we will wait.
Hasn't broken yet.
Hasn't broken yet. We've got
getting close.
We're getting very close. It breaks my computer every time I open the tab, but we're okay. It eventually works, so we're okay for now. Or if you want to suggest something that's already on the wheel, then it'll just increase the odds. So there you go. If you're interested in what we've got on our wheels, I'll throw those up right now. Pow! Crazy stuff. Pause if you want to see them. I probably won't keep them on the screen very long. So there you go. That's what we've got. That's what's on the fan wheel. I'll somehow fit that on the frame. I'll have to get really creative. But there we go. That is it. We do have a Twitter. We don't plug it all the time, but we do have a Twitter.
Not always.
It's back. That's the one good thing about Elon Musk taking it over is that the Boytime Twitter was allowed back on the website.
Hooray. It was so worth it.
It was very worth it. I get notifications all the time from Twitter that's like, here's this random like Catholic chick who's telling people to stop getting abortions, and it's like, why? Twitter, stop it. Is it because I used to cyberbully? Is it because I used to cyberbully Joe Rogan that they think that I'm a raging conservative? I don't know. Also,
the Twitter algorithm is broken. The whole site is kind of broken. It's not good, but we're back on it. So
we're back on it, and people need to see my Django meme that I made about The Last of Us 2. The Last of Us getting renewed for the second season, because that is like one of the funniest tweets I've ever written, and nobody liked it, and I was very, very sad. So if you guys could check out our Twitter just to like the tweet that I did that was very funny. So there you go. Salud. There's no holidays coming up.
Valentine's Day is done.
It's already over.
As of recording this.
Yeah. So
St. Patrick's Day, I think, is the
next one.
next closest one.
It is still Black History Month, so we could say
It is
something
Black
about
History
that.
Month.
Celebrate Black History Month by watching two white boys react to black artists. That's that's the best way to support black artists, I think.
Yep.
Bye.